you write, there are only two things that can stop the reelection of Donald Trump. One is the obviously coordinated effort of 4 prosecutors. The other is Trump himself. So you've got 3 key things that Donald Trump must do between now and Election Day to win. And it seems like you've got some questions about whether he's doing the things. So walk us through the things.
It's basically what people have said, Megyn. It's the post-Iowa primary speech versus the post-New Hampshire primary speech. In other words, sometimes he's ecumenical, he reaches out, and he knows that he has to get 3 to 5% more of the popular vote from rhinos and old Reagan Democrats and disaffected Biden voters, because it's going to be 70% non-election day voting. It's going to be very hard to authenticate those ballots in 10 or 12 swing states. And then sometimes I don't know whether he's trying to troll, but in this case, when he went after Haley's husband, I understand that she's been pretty tough on him, called him basically senile and unfit to be president. But I don't know whether he was channeling rumors of her adultery from way back. I don't know what it was, but he kind of walked into it when he gave an opening and said,
let me play it, Victor. Well, I have it. I'll play it. And then
yeah,
you
go ahead.
And
you better quote it. I don't want to quote
it. You we have it.
It's at exactly
25.
Then she comes over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. Sir, I will never run against you. She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone. He knew. He knew.
And he's currently deployed, and now they're punching back on that. Keep going.
I mean, that didn't work too well. I don't know how many people heard it, but the point is that it disrupts the Biden doom loop, the news that Biden's in right now. And then when the NATO thing, I know what he was doing. He was trying to tell everybody that only by art of the deal, tough talk, and kind of trolling NATO people, he was able to get them to pay the 2% promised in GDP expenditures on defense, and that was very good. And he got about 6 to 8 more nations to do that. But the way it came off, that it fed into, he's too soft on Putin, and he's going to get us out of NATO. So for a whole day and a half,
we have that one too. And I'll give it to you on the back end of this one too. This is another thing that's now. Victor's point is he's dominating the news cycle again in a negative way, but Joe Biden was dominating in his own more negative way, and Trump just should have been quiet. But here's what he said on NATO on SOT 28.
NATO was busted until I came along. I said, everybody's going to pay. They said, well, if we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? I said, absolutely not. They couldn't believe the answer. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
And just to point on that, Victor, not for nothing, but my own brother, who's 5 years older than I am, when I was young and poor and I wanted to borrow money, he had the same motto, Bank of Kelly, you don't pay, you go away. And this is a thing. It's a threat used in negotiations. I understand what Trump was trying to say. Yeah. It was also retrospective. It wasn't prospective. But now the new headlines are BBC, Trump says he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who don't pay. The Atlantic, Trump encourages Putin to attack NATO members. I could keep going. Your point is strategic.
Yeah, I know you and I know what he was doing. He was trying to brag to everybody that he used art of the deal, tough talk, and it worked. And that was a value when they invaded Ukraine. But when he says he wouldn't protect them, he knows that that's not his decision unless he wants to break a treaty that we've signed that transcends a particular administration with NATO. But the larger point is that he's in a very good position right now, Megyn, because Haley's going nowhere and she's getting more and more desperate and attacking him personally. And I don't know what her strategy is. I think when DeSantis got to that point that he knew that he either had to drop out or get really nasty, he dropped out for future political viability. She's destroying her future political viability. Even if she would win after this turn in her campaign, I don't think the MAGA people would fully support her. So he's in a good position, and the Fani Willis, is falling apart. She's probably going to be either disbarred or indicted or both. And I don't think the next team of prosecutors wants to go down that politicized, weaponized road that she took. Jack Smith's got a lot of problems. He's trying to speed up the calendar in a patently political way, weaponizing the special counsel's office. And then there's another special counsel. There's two potential people to indict. They only indict one, and yet you can argue that Joe Biden might have had as much or more exposure. So, I mean, I think that's going to be problematic. And then Alvin Bragg and Letitia James were the weakest of all of them. And so I think he can beat all of that. I really do. But he's going to need this 3 to 5% because he's never won the popular vote in either 2016 or 2020. And this is going to be an election where there's going to be more and more states that are voting non-election day. And that means that the authenticity rate or the rejection rate of the authenticity of the ballots has declined by a magnitude. They used to be 4 or 5% of ballots rejected. Now they're about 3 or 4%. It's 0.3 or 4% in most states. And that makes it very hard to ensure that people who are either here illegally or felons or people, that didn't register, it's very hard. So he needs a margin of error is what I'm trying to say. And he's not going to get it from people. And you know them more than I do. We all know people who say, I love this 4 years. Biden terrifies me. I want to vote for Trump. But what's this about? He wants to get out of NATO, or why did he go out? And these isolated, it's okay because people forget about it. But after a while, they become cumulative. So 2 in a 24-hour news cycle. And if he should do the same thing a couple of times more, then he's going to lose that margin of error vote.
You're onto something, because Trump's gift in the 2016 campaign was he'd do or say something controversial or scandal would hit. And then he would just do or say something controversial immediately thereafter to change the topic to the new controversy that he wanted us to be talking about, and the media would do it like lemmings. What happened this weekend was it was Biden's controversy. It was Biden down in the dumps and really getting hammered by the press, even the left-wing press. That is a very good time to be quiet. That's a super smart time to just say nothing. Just stick to the prompter. You're right, because the NATO thing does matter with maybe not core MAGA, but more traditional Republicans don't want to hear that. The European allies don't want to hear that. The Democrats or the independents who might be thinking about crossing the aisle to vote for him don't want to hear that. And the Nikki Haley thing was totally unnecessary. I realized that, listen, I'm tuned in enough to MAGA world to know people are like, they're like, he's in Djibouti. What's he doing? He's not, this isn't like fighting for the country over in, Iraq. That it doesn't matter. Military's military. He's active duty. He's deployed. There's zero reason to be raising, where is he? Like he's not with her because they're in a scandal. He's not with her because he's deployed. He's active duty.
Yeah. I think there's another issue too, is that in 2016, we didn't have the damage we have now. In 2020, we didn't have the damage. We came off 4 years of Trump's good governance. And now we've got this disaster, whether it's crime or the border or foreign policy or 30% higher prices on key staples or this $35 trillion debt. So this election is existential. I know they say that about every election, but the stakes are much higher and it transcends Trump. For whether fair or not, good or bad, there's a lot of people who cast their fate with Trump. He represents not just the MAGA people anymore. He's become a symbol of we've got to stop the madness, and he has responsibilities that transcend his base. Because you and I know a lot of people. I live in a 95% Mexican American community. I can't believe the people who come up to me every day and say they're thinking about voting for Trump. And I'm on the Stanford campus. I even meet professors that say they're considering voting for Trump.
Wow.
So he's got a chance to really break up this. I guess what I'm saying is that he has a chance to not only lengthen or widen his House margin, he could take the Senate and he could win the popular vote. And if he did that, it would be in this conservative grasp to really undo a lot of bad things and to do a lot of good things.
The Megyn Kelly Show is supported by Grand Canyon University. Founded in 1949, GCU is a private Christian university that's dedicated to delivering an affordable and transformative higher education. Their vibrant campus is located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. And according to niche.com, it's ranked a top 25 best campus in the country. As of June 2023, GCU offers 330 academic programs with over 270 of those online, allowing you the freedom to earn your degree on your time from wherever you are. At GCU, your degree, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, integrates the free market system and a welcoming Christian worldview. Learn more about GCU's programs, competitive tuition rates, and scholarship offers from your university counselor. They are part of the supportive graduation team who take a personalized approach to helping you achieve your academic goals, walking alongside you every step of the way. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. For more info or to enroll, visit gcu.edu. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.